And we are back with more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, after the chaos that erupted after Lana Sky's freaking, not a testimony, but her confession of saying that, you know, the false evidence, they actually used false evidence in the Darke killings, I guess. People just started going around throwing chairs. The damn judge got up out his seat, started coming out of nowhere, choking people with his beard, delivering rock bottoms, freaking stingers, freaking scorpions. He was doing everything, man. He was talking shit. He was like, "Don't take this ass whooping personally, son," and just power bombed them. He was power bombing people. He had to calm down the court. He said the gavel wasn't enough. He had to get off of his seat and start going around, just power bombing, rock bottom, stone cold stunnering people. It was insane. You guys, you had to be there to experience the chaos. Alright, enough with this bullshit. Let's go ahead and start it up. February 24th, 3:12 p.m. Wright and Colon offices. I'm so sorry, Mr. Wright. I'm so sorry for my sister and what she said. Drastic crimes require drastic measures. That's just the way it is. We did what we had to in order for him to get the verdict he deserved. And right there, with those words, everybody got up out their chairs, started beating each other up, and that's when the judge just proceeded to just whoop everybody's ass. I didn't know. If it wasn't for your sister, Emma, I wouldn't have got this damn black eye. The judge attacked me for no reason. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for the Joe Darke killings. Sounds like everyone's heard about these killings but me. Lana wanted Drake. Oh, I called him Drake. Lana wanted Drake convicted so badly for his horrible music. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me to get closer to Joe Darke. What do you mean, what happened to you? It's all there in the file. Joe Darke's last victim, was Prosecutor Neil Marshall. When he murdered Officer Marshall's brother, he left behind an incriminating piece of evidence. But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma? On the night Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Darke tried to kill me. Really? What? He tried to kill you? Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me. What? I don't understand. So that means you... Yes, I was a witness in the Joe Darke trial. I didn't see that one coming. What the hell's going on? She was there? Huh. How old was she when this happened? Does she remember all that? It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year too. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Darke. He had a knife. He looks like Jack the Ripper. It seemed like he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up. Jake Marshall's brother. Joe Darke tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened? I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now. A permanent picture? After the incident, what happened? I don't remember the moment when Drake stabbed Mr. Marshall. So you weren't able to testify about that? When Drake grabbed a broken beer bottle and tried to stab Mr. Marshall? No, I was only asking about when I was attacked. And that must be why she made up the crime. What? Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence? The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it. Edgeworth? Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, I mean, it's all my fault. If I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened. So it's true, even though he may not have known it, Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence. Damn! After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today. She must not have been able to face up to what she did, especially not to Emma. Permanent picture. What did you see in the instant that crime occurred? Darke knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife. Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl. Damn. Neil Marshall wasn't her dad. I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently I passed out. She was still in that damn lab coat apparently. When I came to, Alana was cradling me in her arms. Poor Emma. You've been through so much. Whoa, there's no one in the court? I couldn't bring myself to testify about that incident. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't any good. 2 years ago. You must have been 14. That's understandable. 2 years? That's only 2 years! It's not like you was like 6 years old. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any. I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick. There's still something that bothers me about that crime. I wonder if we'll ever find that picture. Maybe we can go find the picture she drew. Maybe they use that as evidence. Something puzzling. Maybe we can go find that and look at it. Maybe we can fix that SL9 incident like we did with the DL6 case. Finish the DL6 case and we'll finish the SL9 case. 2 cases in one. What is it? You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right? That's right. Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor? Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Darke had been taken in for questioning that day. Oh, taken in for questioning. You mean by the police? Of course, dummy. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office. But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office? Because the detective offices in the questioning room are right across the elevator. Across from the elevator? But Lana was the chief prosecutor, wasn't she? No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. What? She was the best in the entire force. What? That's news to me. After the Joe Darke case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor. Lana used to be a detective? I better have another talk with her. Yo, she was a detective? Let's go to the detention center. Let's go talk to her. February 24th, detention center visitors room. Are you ready for more hype backstory? Lana, Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble. Falsifying evidence? I didn't think you were that type. Criminals don't mind playing foul, why should we? But Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty. Believe me, I understand the risk. Lana, Emma told me about you. Oh? About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office. That's right. Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs? That sounds important. I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright. Damn right, because I'm Mr. Wright. I'm never wrong, because I'm always right. You guys didn't get the joke, because his name is Wright, and he's always right. He's never wrong, but he's always right, because he's right, because his last name is Wright. You can't change that. You know what? You guys never laugh at my jokes. Anyway, today's child. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today. Not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago. Evidence from that case was stolen. I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be. That trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? ... I believed in you, Lana. I believed that no matter what happened, you'd always stick to the truth. It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul. Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department. Tell me it's not true, Lana. What's what that witness Miss Starr said about you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife? Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us? Emma, this doesn't involve just me. I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so fazed before. Detective Lana Skye. It's true, I was a member of the police force 2 years ago. She was amazing! They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Gant cracked together. Chief Gant? Then he was the vice head of the criminal affairs, or he was the vice head of criminal affairs, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be. They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could be filed. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're just chief prosecutor. What happened? I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was to gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could later use that experience in court. Gant's help in the SO9 case was critical in its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office. Maybe I should ask more about this investigation of theirs 2 years ago. So at the time, he became chief of police and she became chief of prosecution. That doesn't sound suspicious at all. 2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Darke. Second in command? That means the chief detective was no doubt Damon Gant? Yes. Detective Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations. They even had the same office. Did they share the same bed, I wonder? Wipe that smile off your face. That wasn't a joke. That wasn't funny, Mr. Wright. I'm sorry, Lana. We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Darke was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when the last murder took place. When he tried to murder Emma. Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Darke. You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me. Now you tell us. First one at scene. Detective Gant and Prosecutor Marshall were the ones questioning Darke that day. The investigation was in its final stages when Darke must have panicked. He waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down and then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Detective Gant and myself. That's where he found me. So you were the first person to run to the scene, Lana? It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Drake. I keep calling him Drake. Darke, I should say. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled like blood. 3 bodies. Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out, and then the suspect, Joe Darke. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Darke had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious. What did you do? To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma and carried her out of the room and just held her. Can't blame her after all her sister must have gone through. After that, I placed Darke under immediate arrest. Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL9 incident. That's right. Quite a coincidence, huh? I don't buy it. What do you say? There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident just by chance. But that case was solved 2 years ago. At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved. Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well. Ever since his brother died, he changed completely. I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Darke. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case. Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories. That case just might not be over yet. Emmett was assaulted by Darke at the police department, right? Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies himself. The chief's office. Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the final SL9 murder. Alright. It's getting serious. It's getting serious. It's getting serious. Getting serious. February 24th, Police Department, Criminal Affairs. We gotta go to the chief's office. I don't see Detective Gumshoe anywhere. Things seem kinda quiet around here today. You're right, the head of the department seems the same though. Why don't we go look for some other people to talk to? Right, we can come back here later. Alright. Bum 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 bum. February 24th, Police Department. Ah, look who it is. Howdy, Bambina. Shouldn't you be in jail or something? Mr. Marshall. I never thought things turn out this way when I woke up this morning. Que será sida sada suda what? You never know where life will lead you, eh, Bambina? I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning. What? Billy? Must be his pet cactus. Say, where are you headed? Just over to the prosecutor's office for a little interrogation. It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go into the evidence room today, partner. But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it? Why do you prospectors head west? If ever there was a case I needed to know the truth about, it was that one. Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us what exactly happened? Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today. Wow. Let's talk to Jake Marshall really quick. The Darke trial. Something was fishy about that trial from the beginning. It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so as well. What do you mean by fishy? Some of the facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon. The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip? That was Joe's alright. But the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. A question? The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained. What does that mean? It means there is a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon. However, in the report that was finally submitted, the possibility had been erased. Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence? That case left behind scars on all of us. The scars that the SL9 incident left behind. I got the looks, but he's got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around. I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. How old was he, your brother? He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day. The highest honor? You don't mean King of the Prosecutors. Not that again. What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor. Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother. That day the SL9 incident took place, that wasn't the same day as... That's right. It was the day of the evidence transfer. Interesting. It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. I can't believe 2 years have gone by already. I tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die. Apparently someone tried to stop you. Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty. That's right. There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. And that was Goodman, right? Miss Starr was fired and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room. What about Detective Goodman? If they did something to him, too, the commissioners would get suspicious. Now, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. They? Who are you talking about? Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Skye. Wow! Shady mother lovers? Chief Detective Damon Gant and his second-in-command, Lana Skye. What were they hiding? What were they hiding? There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers. After the case ended, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right? Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Skye was totally different when she was a detective. Now that he mentions it, Emma says something like that too. Duh, we just heard it about 15 minutes ago. Tell me, what happened to my sister? Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out. Lana's secret? It all started 2 years ago. So, there you have it. That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner? It was certainly enlightening, almost say entertaining. It's one thing for sure I found out in the court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy. He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict, but someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything. That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Damn, you seen that? He chugging that. He chugged the whole thing. Too bad I won't be around to work with you when you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina. Damn. He's getting fired, isn't he? Damn, that's gonna suck. I feel sorry for Jake. He's getting fired. He was trying to reach out to the truth, bro. He was seeking to seize on the whole moment to now break away, but you guys let him down, man. You didn't set him free. But anyway, criminal affairs, where we gotta go now? Can we go to... We can't even go into... Damn. What if we go to the underground parking lot? Prosecutor's office, underground parking lot. No one's here today, not even Miss Starr. Everyone's probably busy looking into what exactly went down in the evidence room. That must be where the detectives are, but we proved in court today that no one was murdered in the evidence room at 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime. Yeah, I thought we were finally making some headway in our case, but instead it looks like we just ended up making Lana look even more guilty. Hang in there, Lana. I've got to find all the answers by tomorrow. If I don't, we're all screwed. Let's go to Edgeworth's office. Let's see what he's doing. February 24th, High Prosecutor's Office, room 102 or 1202. Mr. Edgeworth isn't here either. Maybe he's being questioned by an inquiry committee. He took a real beating in court today. Yeah, with Lana admitting to falsifying evidence 2 years ago, I guess we'll just have to come back later. Damn. Edgeworth he got set up for the okie doke too, and he didn't even realize it. Alright. Can we go to... How did we get to the chief prosecutor office? Did we go to the police department again? And then we go to criminal affairs? Ah, look at this. February 24th, police department, criminal affairs. Gumshoe? This place is always pretty empty, but today is deserted. That must mean everyone's busy solving crimes. Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room. Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us. With the chief prosecutor saying what she did in the decision about what to do about Mr. Edgeworth, not to mention our statement to the media in tomorrow's trial, there's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together. I think festive is the word usually used for those. We'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office. Just head across the hall to the other building and take the elevator to the top floor. Really? You mean it's okay for us to go in there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything. Hey, you're right, you can't go in there, it's off limits. Now I see where Detective Gumshoe gets his unique chime. Oh, what are we waiting for? Let's head to the chief's office. That's hilarious. He told us where to go, too. This is hilarious. Let's save the game. Before we go there, we're going to take a short break, and once we come back, we'll be back with more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney. Don't go nowhere. We're going to complete this case, most likely today. You guys will probably see the ending to this case Sunday, so I'll see you guys later.